see me. There you go. You might be able to see me a little bit better. Oh, you're knocking everything over. I figured it's a little bit dark in here. There we go. I think you can see me better now. Hi there. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending on where you are in the world. I'm Teresa Jande from Tree Heart Art Design Authentic, and the Love Authentic part of that branch of that is these free meditations I give every Monday. So just a chance for you to relax, take the pulse on what's going on, really. I'm not an astrologer, but I have an avid interest in astrology and how it affects us, and tend to use that in my visualizations and meditations. And today in particular, it's Monday the 5th, let's check the date, yeah, Monday the 5th, and Pluto went direct. We've got Mercury going into retrograde, I think on the, on the 13th, the 14th, and that will continue until the 3rd, the 4th of November. Now, traditionally, people like to say that these are times to steer away from, but I think that basically this is a time for us to take the reset, to have a little bit of me time, to reflect on what we've planned, maybe, as I'm a vision board lady, what was on my board back in January. I would be looking at how and what I was planning, and with everything that's happened this year, it's been a really intense year for a lot of people. So highly important for us to take this time to relax, to maybe think about where we've been and where we want to go, the intentional living that I like to do, to be in coherence with that. Maybe we've been reflecting. I know I've been running a free 30-day meditation challenge, and within that, some of the meditations I've asked people to kind of take on board a little bit of journaling and meditative journaling, and where you reflect and ask a question, and then looking back, like the journal prompts that we do for those of you that follow me on for the moon ceremonies. So you might have been doing that inner work, as we call it, looking at ourselves, or things might have been coming up for you or showing up for you in your life that are making you reflect, and that's kind of has that energetic bearing on what's happening in our life. We are 90% water, and we are, as the tides, we are affected by what happens around us, if that resonates with you or not. It is entirely up to you. I'm not here to change your belief systems, although I think mindset is very important with what we do in our life. But hopefully some of this you can take on board. What resonates, take away. What doesn't, just let go. It may resonate in a few months, it may never resonate, that's fine. Hopefully this will just be a lovely experience for you, relaxing time, and you can gain clarity, and a little bit of unwinding. So without further ado, if you'd like to get into a comfortable position, and just, if it's safe to do so, to close your eyes, think about your body posture. So how you're sitting. If you're sitting, nice high back chair is helpful, but it doesn't matter if you haven't got one. You could be sitting on a bed, but just be mindful of your body. Start to tap into how your body's feeling, relaxing the shoulders back a little bit. Just if you feel anywhere in your body that feels a little bit uneasy, you'll start to become aware of that. The one thing I like to get rid of, what people have this misconception about the more monastic type of meditation, is that it's hard and you have to clear your mind. You have to focus your mind, and if thoughts start to come up for you, that's fine. If any emotions start to come up for you, that's fine. Make sure you drink plenty of water to lubricate the body and the cells. As we are lowering the breath, we're resetting the body. We do all wonderful things for our brain and our amygdala and our nervous system, so when we meditate, so it's really good for you. But also sometimes when we are sitting in this stillness, things come up for us emotionally with our thoughts, and that's okay. There's no right or wrong way to meditate. So start to become aware of your breath and directing your thoughts within. If it's safe for you to do so, closing your eyes, please. And just breathe. Just breathing naturally to start with. Breathing in and out gentle rhythm. It's this time carved out just for you, wherever you are, whether it's today live with me, whether you're watching the replay from now on the 5th of October on this Pluto direct day, or whether it's 6 months from now. In your now moment, relax. And I mean, if you're not sure what I mean by that, every breath as you're breathing in, just blow it out. Really feel that sense of letting go. So breathing in, filling up the oxygen in the lungs, pumping that around our body to our cells, and then and out again. Breathing in and out. And I want you to just sit with those breaths for a little bit of breath work. And we're going to do that for a count of 4. Just breathing in for 4. Hold if you can, even if it's just for a little pause, and then breathing out for double, so to 8. So you don't just go, and if you need to, that's fine too. But breathing in for 4. Imagine your breath is like the waves as it hits the shore. So breathing in and out. In and out. In and out. Just keep that flow of that breath for me. Just sitting with the breath, allowing any thoughts to come up, just observing, no judgment. Before I take you on a little journey, I want you to just sit with your breath, oxygenating the lungs. We don't always do, we shallow breathe a lot of the time. It's really good, pumping that oxygen around your body, doing wonderful things. But at the same time as when you're breathing out, letting go. In this moment, all is well. Feeling that breath and breathing in. And maybe putting your left hand over your heart and your right hand over the top. So when you're breathing, it's drawing our attention. The research shows it takes us to our heart center, our heart place. And I want us to be in coherence with our heart. And we do this by focusing our attention there. Just breathing into that space. In that knowing, directing our thoughts and our mind, using our imagination. If you feel more comfortable with your hands on your lap, then that's fine too. Staying in this space. Now I want you to actually direct your thoughts. Think about if there's anything that's bothering you right now, any situation in your life, anything that's been showing up for you in your relationships, any situations, maybe it's lack, maybe it's the general fear and uncertainty that is enveloping the world at the moment. And I want you to see that situation as a cloud of energy, we say. So whatever the situation, see it as a visual representation of a cloud or a bubble, a balloon maybe, okay? Separate from yourself. Maybe it's a feeling that you're having, maybe it's fear, maybe it's feeling anxious, maybe it's just uncertainty, maybe there's something big happening in your life right now and that's on your mind. Whatever it is, I want you to see it. I'm going to take it and we're going to put it in that bubble, okay? It's just there, it's not going anywhere, it's just there. And I want you to just see it as that bubble. And we'll come back to that in a little moment. Now I want you to go back to your breath, and I want you to imagine you're breathing in, breathing out. Start to become aware that there's a bubble also around you. You have your own bubble. It's your authentic bubble. Your name. You can name it as your bubble. That is your toric field that goes around you. And that bubble, as we did in our meditation for our challenge, 30-day challenge today, we're going to fill it with what we feel we need. So just by saying the words, so maybe you need relaxation, maybe you need energy, maybe you need some time to yourself, which we are having right now. Maybe you need abundance. Say, bubble, I would like these things to happen for me. I set the intention, may they be for the good, if they're for the good of my soul and my higher self, and for the good of those around me, that they harm none, may these things come to me. Breathing in that intention and letting go. Now I want you to think of something in your life. It can be anything. It can be this now moment. It can be the food that you consumed. It can be your loved ones. But I want you to think of one thing that you truly are grateful for right now. And if you're struggling with finding one thing, just think about the breath that is keeping you alive in this moment. And how it's going into your body and into the lungs, oxygenating that blood that your heart is pumping around your body and the life force. But whatever it is you're thinking of, bring that to your thoughts and give that another cloud. Put that around you, that feeling, wrap it around you in your bubble like a blanket, feeling thankful, feeling grateful. Now, remember the other bubble of the situation that we've got concerns about. Whatever it is, I'm going to use an example of the world in general right now, of fear that's maybe floating, any anxiety, any discontent that there is in our world. And see that bubble. But I'm going to take it and look at it from a different perspective. I ask you to do this with an open mind, with your own situation. We're going to take that bubble and we're going to try and utilize it and transform it into a different kind of bubble, a different kind of energy. I want you to think that, for example, with what's happening in the world, the things that are being revealed, that we're shining light on, that maybe we can be grateful for the illuminations of these situations, for what they're bringing up for us, of how they are bringing clarity, of maybe giving us a different perspective in how we can move forward, in knowing. Knowledge is power, it's often said, in knowing things. If it's just an emotion of fear, I want you to remember that fear comes to us, it's inherent in our body to keep us alive. It comes from when we were back in the day, we needed to be kept alive. Our memory and the fear was evoked, and that emotion was so strong because it helped us with survival. So it's just a tool for our body, it's a tool for ourselves, helping us to see things, to be aware of things, in awareness of stuff. So I want you to say thank you to the fear if you're able to do so. If you're not and you're not ready, that's fine. Just see the fear and just maybe think, I'm willing to learn to see. I'm willing to see that you are just there to help me, just there to remind me to be safe. And then I want you to remember that you're in your own bubble and you are safe right now. remembering that gratitude blanket that you have wrapped around you. You are, if you're able to do so. Now remember, it's a bubble. So, and that we're transforming it. Energy never changes. It changes, it dissipates. It changes, it transforms, but it doesn't disappear. So we're going to transform that. So maybe that fear can propel you into actions of things that you'd like to do better in your life, or things that you want to have in your life. Maybe, and I'm using only fear as an example, maybe if it's grief, it's a remembrance of what was. It's a thankful for the person that was, that is. If it's anger, I want you to see it as giving you awareness in something that you're uncomfortable. If it feels uncomfortable, we can change that rather than using that anger and directing it almost like a weapon at someone. See it as something that you can channel. So for me as an artist, I use my art to channel that. Maybe it's writing down and journaling. Why am I angry? Asking myself, why do I feel angry about this situation? Why does that person make me feel so angry? Why does this situation make me feel angry? How can I help? How can I change that? What can I do? And maybe then taking a moment to breathe and listening to what comes up. So reframing, we call it, as Gabby Bernstein said, choosing another thought. How can I change that thought of anger? Change that energy of anger. What can I do that, and how can I direct it, shifting it? And maybe it's just with what's happening. As I said, I use the world as an example. We taking more time to be with loved ones, redirecting my focus and how I use my time. How do I want to be in this world? What do I want to see? What perspective am I seeing? Can I see it from the other person, the other point of view? If I'm feeling like there's a lot going on in the news about the masks at the moment, I always see it as, I don't see it as my freedom being changed, and if that brings that up for you, in that to reframing for me it's an act of compassion. If I put a mask on, it's an act of compassion for other people's fears, whether I fear for that or not. It's an act of compassion because I'm feeling like I'm doing something to help. And that puts you back, that takes you out of that feeling of not knowing how, and the uncertainties that's going on. If that's the emotion that comes up in the situation, then you're actively doing something, inspired action. And it may feel, with the cosmic things that are going on at the moment, that there may be, you're not sure what actions to take. Then take this time to reflect. Take this time to think about what's important to you. And then breathe for me. Breathing in. Remember, blowing out. And maybe blowing that cloud. Blowing it and seeing it just dissipating and changing. Like a rain cloud. We need the rain. We need the rain because the rain helps us. And I need it to be, because I mustn't swear because this is being recorded in the day. But if you think of excrement, how it helps things grow. Our contrast, our excrement of life can help us grow. Reframing it can help us see things from a different perspective. Sometimes we're not always ready, and if you're not, that's fine too. Just thinking, willing to look at it from a different perspective. What am I actually grateful for about this situation? And breathe in for me. Big breath in, big breath out. And again, come back. Hopefully that's making you feel less heavy in this time and this month that may feel slightly heavy and slightly stickiness of situations. And when you feel that, choose, how do I want to be right now? Do I want to be feeling this the answer's no, then you can just take a breath, take a moment to breathe in yourself, connect back to here just by breathing. Remember how I did that in the beginning, just by breathing in, stopping and breathing out. Even if it means you say, I'm uncomfortable talking about this right now, I'm going to walk away and take a breath. If it's a feeling of elation and you're feeling like you're overwhelmed, whatever it is, just and breathe. Thank you. We didn't go too deep, although we went deep in a different way this week. I felt that with this being our first Meditation Monday in October, and October is about balance, tipping the balance of the scales, the resetting globally as well as internally. I think there's lots going on, as I said, with Mercury. Communications might be a screw this month, so be patient with people. My page, we have our challenge this month, and each month I set a different one, is connecting. So connecting to self, connecting to other people. Take time to connect to loved ones. Take time to connect with old friends and families. Maybe write a letter. Communication, as I said, with Mercury in the retrogrades. But I'd say take the time to connect by listening, observing, as an extension of our other previous month's challenges. We were listening last month, listening to ourselves, our internal dialogue and the thoughts that come up for us, as well as other people. When you may want to jump to defend yourself this month, and that may come up more, and just breathe and try and listen. Listen to the other perspective. See it from another perspective if you can, by connecting to your authentic self, speaking your truth, but not in terms of needing to argue the point, just putting a different vibration into the mix if you are feeling those higher vibrations, and listening to those that maybe aren't feeling those. And if you don't want to get caught up in that, then you have a choice. Just breathe. Remember to breathe. Thank you for your time, and thank you for allowing me to hold space. I go live, for those of you viewing this for the first time, for Meditation Monday on my YouTube channel. I used to do these videos in Zoom, so there was a Q&A, but that's been suspended as I myself personally doing my own balancing and my own inner work every evening, and a synchronized group meditation for myself personally, and I do that every evening. So I record these in the day, send them out to you. If you booked in Eventbrite, you'll get the video recording. You can watch it as many times as you like, and it's live on my YouTube channel, or you can subscribe at Love Authentic Me on YouTube. Thank you. I'm Teresa. Have a wonderful week. In this space, maybe set a lovely intention. What do you want to happen this month? What would you like to happen? Because what we do this month, if we've done the work and analysed, that's why I was very analytical with this week, in the previous month, and you've been looking and reflecting, that will set you up for the next few months, for November and December, cosmically, of what we got going on energetically. So we've got lots. I think what's it? Mars, Neptune, Chiron, which is the asteroid, Uranus and Mercury, all going to be in retrograde, which means they look like they're going backwards around the sun. And I think that sometimes makes us feel like we've taken a couple of steps back. We have to go over old ground, but that can be helpful. How can it help you? What do you want for this month ahead? Have a fabulous week, and I will see you for Meditation Monday next week live. Blessings, beloveds.